Hi, welcome to another video episode about my walking robot Mirft2 controlled by the fischertechnik TXT controller. Last time I fixed the connections between the 6-spoke legs, and I tried to walk, which didn't end up very well. But a problem is, well, there are more problems actually. First of all, this iron rod has to be fixed. Then let me lift it up to show clearly. This point of instability has to go, and another problem is the rubber feet, because at this leg it is already gone, as you can see, but on the other leg it is about to go, so I really need a new idea for that. And then there are some more problems with the gear, so enough to do. And let me start first with fixing this rod, which should not be too difficult. Last time I tried to do it with just my hands without any tooling. Now I've taken this tool and I'm trying to put these just like I've put it here, in order to prevent the rod from obstructing the rotation. So let me see, this should work. So if I take this out, put this in here, this works, but another problem is that it should be here on the outside as well. So that is one. Now taking the other one. And that doesn't go as easy as I thought. So that is one. Oops, I'll leave the tripod alone. So another attempt. There goes. Yes. Then these two should be at the same side. So that is one. And looking at this one, however, and let me shine a clear light, which is always better. So now I've put these two clamps here, and this one still has to be corrected a bit, so one there and one there. and that was wrong. Alright, so that is one thing. Up to the next, fixing instability. And fixing this instability won't be very difficult if everything goes to plan. Yeah, the tripod moves too easily. Anyway, this one should temporarily be out of the way. I can also remove the entire camera for now. Let's do that. Then you see, let me shine the light again. These two parts should be replaced by something like this. Oops. By something like this. However, there's a little problem, because here should be a notch and here. So I'll grab another part. Come on. Which is this one, quite familiar if you've seen my videos before. So I'll slide this in here. Now that it's double notched, and I'll take this one out. And in the resulting gap I put this one in. So that should be it, and I hope it takes away the instability. If not, I'll have to find something further, and then I put back the camera, of course. It is USB, so that is no problem. And then I see that the wiring is not okay anymore. I have 3 wires here, being green, red and black, which is for the motor, all of them, and they should be in here. So it's always good to check things from time to time. So now everything is alright. By the way, as you will understand, the camera images will be quite shaky, because the legs cause a shaky movement. So once I'm up to using images from this model, from this robot, I'll have to figure out something for that, but all in due time. So let's get back to a part of the construction. Because I'm still not happy with this, but given the present situation, I think I'll have to deal with it. So for now, 2 things solved, I hope. Let me do first run and see how everything goes. So, that is another part. On the other controller, the date was not really nice. So, let me check for it and then see if the whole thing of the battery should be replaced. So I'm going to the original interface, settings. Why does it go to network? I don't want that. Date and time, date, and you see it is in 2000, which is not correct, which means that the battery needs to be replaced. I don't like that. So that's another thing I should take care of. Anyway, back to focus number 3. And the solution to the rubber feet may be much more simple than initially thought. This is of course part of a broken rubber tire like this one, but the disadvantage of this is it needs, for example, a staple to be connected, and then there's the problem how to connect it, because the engineering solution of using duct tape like here, it's already proven that it doesn't hold on. So what else to use? Well, fischertechnik also has this. This is part of a band, and using much more of these you get a circular band and you can walk with it. So why not use a chain to which it belongs? You put it on the chain, and part of the chain is going right here, connected with some rope, and that may be the solution. So what I'm going to do is see how much of this chain I need for one spoke, which is around, let's say, this length. So carefully taking it off, looking for the middle, so it should be about this position. There it is. And now the question is, can I easily fix this? Yes or no? And there's only one way to find out. Do it. And this is a piece of rope I've used before. So let's see if this works anyway. This is one. Goes through. And then it needs some fixation on the other end. as well. So how do you do it? Let's try one thing first. I doubt that this is going to work, but first IDs first. And I have plenty of these for all 12 spokes, and even more to put on the hind legs. So I figured that I will have to replace this anyway because of this flexibility, but it's an idea anyway. So let's see how this works out. I'm very curious about the results. And in width, if I look like this, it won't be obstructed by this whole thing. It will nicely go in between the parts. So that shouldn't be a problem either. So we'll see. So right now I have taken away this part to which the foot was connected with duct tape. I have prepared several of these combinations, and in preparation I have also put 3 of those elements on top. In finding the best way, I started with 8 links of the chain and I reduced it to 7. It's a little bit shorter and it fits better, I think, with the distance that is covered with the chain and the wire through. So right now let's test if this actually works, because that still is the question. So let's start the program and see what happens, if anything. And see, something works, but now I know. Notice that here is still an old foot, so let me take that one off as well. Does it work? Let's try again. Of course, on this side with the other 6 spoke leg, there's no rubber yet, so the only force of forward going is from here, and I'm not quite sure if that is a wise idea, but let's try just again. It didn't do anything. Should I assist or not? Well, yeah, and that is still the gearing problem. So before I continue with adding more rubber feet, I should pay attention to the gearing. So what exactly is going on? Holding it upside down, everything seems to be in good order. And yes, the forces on it are quite strong, but when you look at it, it is all connected quite okay. So the only reason that you hear the rattling of the gears is because of the shear force that is on them. And I honestly don't really know how to fix that. And I remove the old feet from the hind legs as well. Alright. So, this is the old stuff. And yeah, how to continue? That is a very good question right now. I think I should continue with the feet and see how further it goes. So now I have put the rubber feet on all 6 spokes of the leg, and it is time to turn my view to the other side. However, as noticed before, I have a gearing problem, and when I look at this, if you look closely, there is something quite evident, because this is not the same. So I should adjust something right here, even trying to get that part as high as that part. And I'm not quite sure if you can see it, so let me shine a little better. This is lower than this, and I figure that that is not a good thing. So when I look here, things are more or less equal, but this clearly is not. So on this side something has to change, and the question is, how do I do that? Is it even possible to change? Let me remove the charger of the battery. No use right now. So, how is this? It has some kind of this line. And how is this? About the same. And yet things are not the same. So here we have the construction that it goes up, and you can't really see it, so let me shine a little better, I hope. And here is the gear on top of it. So this has to be exactly the same on this side. But is it? I really wonder. This is really not the same. And yet I did construct it the same. So this is more or less a mystery. And mysteries should be able to be solved. It may also be that this part should be lower. Alright. If that is more equal, maybe even lower. But then again, this is not the same. So something is not quite right here. How come is this not the same? I need to possibly even I should possibly even deconstruct it. Taking the legs off and then look for the construction. Because this is maybe the cause of the rattling of the gears on this side. Let me run the program once more. See if it runs with the new feed, although considering this flexibility it may not work directly. It may be too simple thought, but let's see. Alright, let's run. Pay attention to the rattle noise again. And even now I blocked this way, so I'll have to do it again. And even that does not go right. So, what to do? Alright, things to do for the next episode. Making sure that I have enough of this kind of feet for the other leg and the hind legs. Maybe replace the hind legs for a 6-spoke leg, who knows. Making sure that this is equal and maybe run it on another surface, although I don't have a real surface that has enough friction for it to move. And this is not good. It should be here. This is the battery cable. Better not be loose. And then see if when I get it reconstructed and the rattling of the gears is gone, then I might be able to actually walk with it. So with that said, let me lift it and see if everything kind of runs or not. Because the hind legs should work as well. Well, it makes it movements. It makes the movements, but even when lifted, the rattling goes on, which is not a good sign, as already said. So I think that's the prime subject, and the first focus on the next episode. Very worrying. Very worrying. Okay, thank you for watching. Topics to be continued are already mentioned. If you like my blog, please consider allowing advertisements in between the segments, or see my website for another way to support my blog and videos. My website is noted under the video in the comment. So once again, thank you for watching, and to be continued.